aber erstrahle!
Demon, goldene Armor-Digitation zu...
Magnamon, goldener Schein des Wunders.
Hi folks, this is Mega 881000 again with another review, and as you can see it and you could already guess from the last unboxing part, it's DG-Mazing Magnamon figure time for the second time again. As promised, I'm dedicating this video to another color version of this Magnamon figure made by the Chinese design studio called DG-Mazing. I also got this color version from the Cosmo Time eBay shop, and according to the item description or selection function, this color version was titled as Gold-Metal Color version. But I don't know if these names coming from the shop owners or from the DG-Mazing studio itself. Yeah, and how I said, this is the review about the normal gold metal color version. I would like to mention again that this is not an original Bandai product and therefore also not a Figure Arts Magnamon, because as I have already mentioned several times in the last review about the plated gold color version, this Magnamon figure was made by the Chinese design studio called DG-Mazing, like the gold plated version. So it is actually DG-Mazing's take on such a Figure Arts Magnamon figure. And here we have the gold-plated version for comparison. Yeah. And I think that the design studio succeeded in making this figure or figures very, very well. This gold metal color version is of course the exact same mold like the gold plated color version, so I cannot tell you so much about it now. Depending on which color version you will get or got, or you do prefer, you could see the respective two other color versions of this Magnamon figures as kinda repaints, but that would be also wrong on the other hand, because all three color versions were completed and released at the same time by DG-Mazing. The third color version is the special dark purple color version, in case you are wondering what I'm talking about, and I will make a video review about this one as the next. So to speak, these are the DG-Mazing Magnamon weeks here now in my channel. I hope you are okay with that. But those nice figures deserving so much screen time to the full, don't they? As I said, it is exactly the same figure, only with a different paint job, as you can see. Or a different coloring style, if you want to call it this way. Again with the same interchangeable and a total of 3 different hand pairs as accessories, excuse me please. Therefore this video is mainly a comparison between the DG-Mazing Gold Plated Magnamon and this gold metal color version. Of course, they are the same size of those almost 6 inches, which would be about a bit over 15 centimeters. Out of this, I will make a few additions to the review about a gold plated color version. And in general here in this video, which I mentioned in the German video version, but forgot to mention in the English version of the last review. And yeah, I just spoke about, here we have the same option hands again. Here are the fist hands. And here we have our open hands. Yeah, after showing you this gold metal color version in a close-up, I will also start with the addition to the review which I mentioned before of about the gold plated color version. But for the first time we taking a quick look. How I said, they are both the same mold. Just to prove it for you, we can do some turning action with them. Come on. Come on, little guy. Stand. Yeah. How I said, exact the same molds. And I think we should do a close-up with that version, because this is actually the review about this color version. And as you can see, the gold color is a bit more of a pale gold. It's not a metallic gold, it's more a matte gold, I think. Maybe it looks more shinier through the lighting here. And I also will show you it with some less lighting. But for the first impression, to get the idea of all details here again, and that they are both the same mold, I'm showing you the figure a bit in a close-up. Now, how I said, in normal daylight the color is actually a bit more paler, and less shiny. Maybe when I'm dimming the light a bit, you can see this actually look a bit better. But yeah, and yeah, it's not bad, but if you considering the plated gold version, this has a more unique look. I think that looks better. It's still my favorite of the two here. It doesn't look bad, but I think this plated gold version matches to the characteristics of Magnamon, of 2D character, and this is actually how you would imagine Magnamon, I think. The golden shiny knight Digimon. I think this looks more inferior to that, which is logical. How I said, it isn't bad, but in real daylight it is even more. It is not so shiny. I think the lighting here fakes the better look a bit, so to speak, but yeah. I think, how I said, this is the better matching implementation and how you would imagine Magnamon more, because this is a bit of a matte gold. I wished to be it a more metallic gold. Especially I would find it bad if there would be only this color version existing, and in this case if the figure would be the same color like this, I wouldn't like it so much, because it is very matte. I think they should done it a bit more in a metallic gold style. But how I said, this version exists. It isn't bad. It isn't bad either, I think. And yeah, what I also said, that this, in the last video I said that the skirt and the little details in the middle of his feet is a bit a different color, and I already assumed that this is the other color which the whole other color version would be painted, and yes, it is. You can see this very well here, that's all the same color. Because this looks a bit different in compared to the rest of this plated gold details or color details, better said. Yeah, and I know some collectors don't like this gold plated or the plated figures in general. They don't like plated figures because of flaking off color issues you usually have with them. I hope it doesn't happen with my plated Magnamon here. And also, I actually don't like so much this gold plated color in general for figures, because that reminds me so much on really bad knockoff figures like this one here. This is a knockoff of Golden Rapidmon, and yeah, this is just, I mean, that it's better on, this is a way better made, don't get me wrong, but I actually don't like so much this plated colors or this plated color style on figures because it reminds me on these bad fake figures which just should fake a better and precious look, but they are actually bad figures. They just should fake that good look, and so they plated these knockoffs that you have often on knockoffs. Yeah, just for comparison. But how I said, for Magnamon, especially for Magnamon, I just love this plated gold style. How I said several times in his review. Yeah. If you don't like the style and if you're afraid of flaking off color, I think this would be your better choice. You better go with the normal Gold-Metal Color version, but how I said, this is a really matte gold. They done this figure. Yeah, so much about the differences here. I getting to other differences later. Also, both have exactly the same weight. I just put them both on the scale and they both weigh 0.19 pounds, which would be about 88 grams. Yeah, I just thought through this gold-plated style, the figure just looks heavier than this, but they are way actually the same. Yeah. Just want to mention that this, I just weighted them because of my own interest to know if there are differences in the weight, and there are or not. Now we are getting to those mentioned additions. First, something about the topic with the flaking of color, because if you're remembering, I said in the last video that I knew from another member with which I was in contact about the whole waiting and production time for DG-Mazing Magnamon, that he got the two gold color versions at the same time, and on one of them the color was flaking off from the beginning on as he just unpacked it, I guess. But I did not knew at this point on which color version he had this issue, or with which color version he had this issue. Now I know it better, and he had this issue on the gold-plated color version. I already assumed this last time, but mine is still fine, as you could see. It is still beautiful looking, as you can see, and I know from another friend who got this gold-plated version too, that his figure is fine as well as mine. There are no flaking off issues on our figures here. The other member just had bad luck, I think, with his copy, and I guess that this was just sadly a production error on his copy. I also assumed in the last review that the crest symbol of miracles down there could also be framed with such fine black lines like they done for those other details. And yes, it is true, because on this version you can see this better, because this doesn't blind you and reflecting so much. But here you can see the black framings for the crest symbol of miracles very well, I think. But how I said, the plated gold version also have this black lines, but you just see it hardly. But it has, because they are the same style. Yeah. Also forgotten to show you the option hand, ball pack connection design and the difference between DG-Mazing Susanomons and Magnamon's option hands. And that I will show you again, or show you better now. I also can change his hands. And put on the other post hand. Here we have the open hands again, to see how these are looking. They are also has the sloppy paint job for the claws, which I mentioned in the last review, and I think we're putting on the open claw like post hands here. Yeah, but I wanted to show you the pack connection, and I said it in the last review already that for Magnamon you have this ball pack on the arm, and there you can detach and attach the option hands. But I wanted to show you that difference between Magnamon and Susanomon hands. Here we have the ball molded on the hand. The ball pack is molded on the hand, and this is the difference. The hands of, or the arms of Susanomon have a hole, and there you put in the ball. And for Magnamon we have just holes in the hand and the molded on ball pack on the hand already. These are the big difference between the connection, which I just didn't show you last time. Get here better pose, I think. So, yeah. I also forgotten to show you that the DG-Mazing Magnamon has an elbow swivel, but because the improvements for the joint system they put into their second figure, or their Magnamon figures, in compared to their less good Susanomon figure joint wise, is this outstanding great. I think I should show you the whole articulation of this Magnamon figure on this color version, again a bit better. And because the normal gold metal version was packed as twisted at the upper body armor section, this is the proof that you can turn the upper body at the upper body armor as well, and separately and independent from the lower hip joint, if you need this. But I show you, I had already suspected that with the gold plated version, but just didn't want to try this so hard, so as not to break off the very fragile looking helmet tips and spikes, because you can't avoid to push them a bit if you're playing around with the figure. This is really unavoidable to push this a bit. Yeah, and I don't want to... I just wanted to avoid any breaking off on the gold metal, the gold plated version. Excuse me, please. Yeah, but here I can show you this again, and what I'm speaking about the whole time, you can turn the upper body separately a bit from the hip joint, as you can see. And of course, the hip you can also turn to the left and to the right, can do some of these movements and these movements. All is connected with such a bit simpler ball pack connection for the joints. For the main part of the joints you have this ball pack connection. The head is also on such a ball pack, so you can do... He can look to the sides and a bit up and down as well. With the whole arm assembly you can do your full 360. We have an outwards and inwards movements with these hinged balls for the shoulders. He also can independently raise a bit the shoulder armor independently from the lower shoulder joint, and so you also can move the arm a bit independently from the upper armor. How I said, he has a bicep swivel, which I've forgotten to show you last review, and I'm sorry for that, but bad things happen. Always. We have a double jointed elbow as well. I also maybe don't call it double jointed last time, but it is. It is. We have a swivel as well at this armor part, and of course you've seen those ball packs for the hands, so with the hands movements in all directions are possible on this ball. Magnamon can also raise his lower skirt armor up and down. I think I also forgotten to show you some movements with that armor, because there are further movements possible, like you can turn them a bit to the front and to the back, and that's because they are on also such hinged ball packs, connection pieces. The tail I showed you is a hinged ball pack. Can turn the tail 360 and move it in all directions. And how I said last time already, the best and most improvements went into the leg articulation, which is great. You can get some splits like this. So you also can get some back and forward movements in connection with the upper thigh cut. Not quite far forward and not quite backwards, but it's there in connection with all the joints for the leg. There are much movements possible with this great joint system. We have double jointed knees. Just almost backwards or only backwards, and we have those nice bunch of joint action going down on the feet section, where we have this ball pack, and also a hinge is there, as you can see. Some angle tiltage you can get with this joint. You can move the feet a bit up and down like this, also a bit forward. Quite a bunch of movements are possible with this great joint connection here. Yeah. I kinda messed this up to show you this right, that the figure is actually has very nice and decent tight joints. In the unboxing it doesn't work so well. Like I wanted to stand him up like he came out of the box, and maybe you get some false impressions of the figure, but it's great. If you're using the joints right, you have a very, very stable figure. Yeah, but I think I said this already in the last review. Two another amazing features I forgot to mention in both of the last review versions are that you can't see any screw or screw holes all around on the figure, like on the original Bandai Tamashii figure, Arts figure. That's amazing. Another amazing fact. And we also can prove this again with some close-ups, but we have no screw holes. No noticeable screw holes there. That's very nice done, I think. Yeah. And that the backside of the crotch armor even has also such an extra detailed molded silver part additional, which I just noticed yet on this color version, because how I said, the gold plated version does reflecting so much. I just noticed this on this version, that he has this. They took this detail also in account, which is very nice and outstanding. The gold plated version has this, of course, as well on this section, and I will show you this, but you will see through this extremely reflecting Stand, little guy. Again, please. Stand. Yeah, I show you now the detail on the... We have it here. It's the same detail here, but how I said, I think some of you will have noticed it already in the last review, but I just forgot to mention this because during recording I have to watch over other things, so to say. Yeah. How I said, those are outstanding facts, especially this with the no visible, not visible screws or screw holes. And I also totally forgotten to show you the compare with Mabel Country Design Studios Lightramon or Raytramon, which I will do now. That would be that figure, the statue. I made a review about this as well. It was the last review in the old style with only pictures. Yeah, just to see how they are looking together. It's a bit bigger, but for the sake of comparison, here we have it. Yeah, and I think I will also do some further comparisons for the sake of comparison. Just getting the box out of the way. It's, by the way, the same black box with the same printed on details and writings as the plated gold version came packed, so we would have that also mentioned for that video here. And now it's time for some comparisons as well. I showed you Susanomon already, but they are both from DG-Mazing, so I will show you Susanomon a bit quick again, to see how they are looking together. And then I also provided some Royal Knights again, because Magnamon is also a Royal Knight, so we do some Royal Knight, official Royal Knight figures. For comparison here, we have again the Articulation. I have provided SH Figure Arts Alphamon again, to see how they are looking together. I have provided another Magnamon for comparison. This time I think we should compare it to the Bokura no Wargame version. Last time I compared it with the D-Arts version, now we have the Bokura no Wargame version here for compare. Just to see how they are looking together. And last compare for today will be another Royal Knight and this unofficial Chessmon resin figure, which I made the last reviews about this, just to see how they are looking together. And I think Magnamon looks a bit bulkier in compared to Chessmon. Yeah. But I also forgot this wasn't the last comparison here. I just forgot to do my obligatory compare with the Arts Magnamon Original Designers Edition. That has to happen again to see how they are looking together. And I think this Magnamon just looks awesome. Despite this bit pale gold color and matte gold color, it's still a nice figure. So you can choose what you like better, this version or this plated gold color version. Make your choice, make your own choice. This was my review about the gold metal color version of the, or about the DG-Mazing Magnamon figures here. I hope you liked it a bit, and if so, you can totally hit that thumbs up button or also subscribe to my channel. And yeah, with these words I want to say goodbye to you again. Thanks for watching, and until the next review, which will be about this dark purple version DG-Mazing Magnamon, like I mentioned before. And until that, your Mega 88 1000.